What is up, everyone? Welcome to another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Guys, in today's video, we're gonna do a team for the Vinyara boss without Flora that will get you to 200 million damage. Some of you guys maybe picked a different exclusive. You might not have Flora available, or you might have Flora but no exclusive artifact. Even without the exclusive artifact, she will be able to get you to 200 million damage. I am talking about the Imperial Shadow recast. This is the final week, guys. We need to use 6 different teams. And the most important thing is to try and get the best possible score. So we're going to go versus the Vinyara boss. I'm going to show you the team on the main account. And then I'll show you some similar team on the free-to-play account, where the gear is not as great, the psychic core is not as great, just to kind of like give you an idea of what you can expect. So versus this boss, guys, you will need to dispel the shield, and if you dispel buffs, you're going to be able to gain an increased attack for 15 seconds every time you dispel the buffs. So we're going to use Dane. He's going to dispel 2 buffs with this skill. That's exactly what we need. The boss will put 2 buffs, damage reduction, and it will put up increased defense. So we're going to dispel those buffs, and we're going to gain increased attack on our team. You don't need to have crazy talents on him or anything like that. I haven't even changed the gear around. You could put him on a Brotherhood set, give a better damage build to Felicity. Maybe she will push in slightly higher numbers. That will give you more damage as well. And you can always run, for example, a different set on Erich as well, and give the Puppeteer, if you want, to Brody. That is up to you, to be honest. I just have broken sets and stuff on my team, but I'm going to show you exactly how it works. I will most likely do those changes on my Flora team to try and get slightly more damage, but I won't be using Dane in that team. So in this team, we're going to run Caspar, we're going to run Erich, Felicity, Brody, and Dane. Now, the gear on Caspar is pretty good. I do have some of the best gear on him. These are his total stats. Talent-wise, we are going with Twisted Fate, and as an artifact, I am running the Ring of the Scarlet. You can run the Flame Tongue if you want, if you're not able to get enough crit rate on your character. From all of the testing that I've done, there isn't really much of a difference in terms of how much damage they are doing with this artifact or the other. One of the main differences with this one is that you can get much higher crit damage, which overall will give you better damage, right? Plus, it's more consistent, to say like this. Then, on, Erich, we are running the Pipe Organ, basically as much attack as possible to boost the attack on the other characters. Felicity is running the Brotherhood with the Witch's Remains, and we are running Dane on a damage build with the Crown of the Unclean. The Crown of the Unclean won't really do much because it will get replaced by the Witch's Remains, but it's still basically an option. In terms of skill timing, we are running the following, guys. So you don't have Flora in the team. You don't have to worry about crazy timings or anything like that. 18 seconds for the recast on everybody. We have Brody at 10 seconds. You do need to have quite a bit of skill haste on him, so I am using the Rift Hourglass. Then we have Dane going at 12 seconds as well. Basically, he will remove the buffs instantly. I could actually even put him at 11 seconds because the boss will buff at 9 seconds with a bit of a delay. So heck, even 10.5 could actually work, right? I see no reason why not. 12 point nothing on Felicity, 12.1 on Caspar. So the whole idea with Caspar is that you need other characters to use the wild attack so he can actually do more damage. And because she's going to go in first, maybe she's going to land the defense down on the first hit, maybe she's not. If she is, Caspar is going to have a bigger boom. So it's a very short interval in between. Then on Erich, you can actually put at 13.5, 14. You want him to go after. The whole idea is to make sure you have the defense down, fully charged on the enemy, and just to constantly trigger the rest as well. So that being said, let's dive straight into the run. I'm quickly going to show you how it plays out. The boss will buff right now. You see the buffs. Dane remove the buffs. We have the defense down. And we have the defense down from Crown of the Unclean. In case if Felicity is not landing it for Caspar, Caspar will do a bit of more damage like that too. So that's basically the whole idea behind the Crown of the Unclean on him. And from here, they're just gonna pump up and do a lot of freaking damage. The more stacks we land of the defense down with Felicity as well, the better. You see, we're already at 50 million damage and we're 1 minute in the run. So we're easily going to get to the 200 million. There's literally nothing to stop us. Another thing is, you're gonna have the decreased attack from Dane on the boss, which means that your Brody will have better survivability too. Not like it's much of a struggle with him, but it does make the life, our life, a bit easier. So we have over 100 million damage and we have 3 minutes left. Basically, that's the whole strategy behind it. If you are not running a Flora team, you can definitely run this team for the best possible damage output. As I've mentioned, you can play around, tweak the gear sets on Brody and on Dane, focus on getting more damage from Felicity and Erich, because those are the characters that will push in bigger numbers. And on Erich as well, if you're running a couple of damage sets, attack sets, you're going to get more attack on him, because you're going to get 15% increased attack or whatever you're getting as a bonus set by using 2-piece, right? And that overall will push more attack onto Caspar, Felicity, and everybody else in the team, which will allow you to get more damage. So we are already at 200 million damage. 1 minute and 12 seconds left. I'm curious to see if this skill timing is better than the one that I just had before. It should allow us to maybe push a couple of millions extra, but by the looks of it, it is slightly better, because previously I've done 210 or 212 or 211 million damage, something like that. And it seems like more or less we're going to get pretty much to the same level. Now, there is a lot of RNG with rolling the dice and stuff like this with this team, but it seems like it is able to push enough damage. So probably we had slightly worse RNG this time around, but hey, 208 million damage, no Flora, and you can do it without having the empowerment on Caspar and Erich, because they're just gaining some additional stats, no crazy effects. One of the main things that is pretty important is, of course, the psychical, right? So because this is my main account, I am maining a Flora team for the Temporal Vortex and a lot of other content. The elemental affinity for that is maxed, right? So I have this 20% additional damage. I have some damage reduction, which is irrelevant here because we're not really getting damaged by the boss. But this is the main thing that is done. The next thing that I'm working on is actually the permafrost, and I still need to put in the permafrost, and I gotta put in the resplendence before I can move on to the next one, right? That's it on the main account. I showed you the builds, the skill timing, and everything else. If we're gonna head on to the free-to-play account, I'm not gonna do full runs in there. I'm just gonna use the Insta Battle thingy so you guys kind of like get to see the damage. I've tried previously when I've made the other video as well, right? I've tried running an extra DPS, running the buff stripper. There isn't that much of a difference, at least on my free-to-play account. But either way, you're going to get to see it. So with Dane in the team and with the legendaries, I am doing around 10 million damage more than by having Alfie instead of Dane. So it's a bit of an improvement. Basically, these are the builds on them. I do not have the luxury of running so many mythical artifacts on the free-to-play account, but more or less the same cup of tea. Now, in here, I do have the gear sets differently a bit. I have the Brotherhood set on Brody. I have the Puppeteer on Dane. So they will get the job done. They will both use their skills before the rest of them are going. So that will still push us on an 18-second cycle, as you guys can probably notice right here. This is the skill timing. Dane is on default, but that is 11.9 for whoever is curious, because I have a bit of skill haste on him. I am using the crit damage aura, and I gave them the best possible gear for damage that I have on my account. Of course, Tonalyn is the GOAT. She's wearing the best gear that I have available because she's the highest damage dealer on the account. This piece sucks. It's not going to be helpful at all. I wish I would have had one, the one where we are at 100% full HP, boost the damage by 25%. But unfortunately, my RNG on the free-to-play account is pretty damn awful. I could use this actually. Wait, I could use this. I've just realized that I have it available. but was equipped on a different character. So this will boost the damage even more. Because we're always going to be at a 100% HP, right? Nothing is really going to change. Just looking to see if by any chance I have a better one with more crit damage or anything like that. No. So if I could fix the Elemental Ascension to get more attack, it would be nice, but I'm not going to do that because I am maining a Dauntless team here, so I want them to have the best result gear and everything like that. So if we're going to do a combat simulation, I am expecting now with that increase of damage to get somewhere to like 115 million. Maybe if we have good RNG. Actually, we got more than I initially thought. So 126 million damage. Damn. Just by changing that chest piece on Tunnel Nun, I actually got 20 million extra. 20 million just by changing one chest piece. That is crazy. That is really, really crazy. But this is the damage output. 27 million from Felicity. 23 from Erich. So Erich is really not doing that much. I wish I would have a better artifact for him. And I have 71.5 from Tunnel Nun. Absolutely goated. And the rest barely dealt any damage whatsoever. Now, if we're going to go on to the next team, because I have a different variation without the legendary characters, and that should be this one right here. So now, as you guys can probably notice, I do not have the best thingies in terms of gear. I mean, more or less, yeah, Foley could use a different set maybe to do a bit of more damage. She really doesn't do a lot of damage, which kind of sucks. But I can definitely change this chest piece on her too. So I think we had this one on, and we're going to give him a different one because it doesn't really matter what we have on him. He can have this one. He can have this one. I do not need... Oh, wait, that's Enlightenment. No. We need attack. We need attack. I'm going to give him this one. He doesn't do a lot of damage anyway. So let me store that. And in terms of skill timing, guys, more or less the same cup of tea. I'm going to let him run wild. I'm not sure if that's better or is not, okay? But either way, they in the same situation, 11.9 and 18-second cycle. We're going to do actually 2 tries. So let's dive into it like this. If you do not have Dane to remove buffs, there is a rare. Actually, one of you guys reminded me about him in the comments the other day. I'll show you the character. I forgot his name again. So that's 72 million damage. Free-to-play team, no legendaries. I think is really, really solid. Really, really solid. Considering that we don't have any legendaries whatsoever. And I'm going to show you the Psychic Core, which is far from being as good as it is on the main account. One thing that I actually said I want to try as well is basically put this on like recast. Let's see if this will push the damage a bit more. I doubt it. I don't necessarily think that it will do it because it's better to have it on as much as possible for the battle skills and everything else, but it might do. Okay, so we got basically 1 million damage extra by skill timing him. It might be just better RNG on defense down. It might be better RNG on wild, something like that. But that's pretty much it. Once again, these are the builds. Just try to get the best possible damage on all of them, except Brody, who needs survivability, right? But this is basically what we have on him. That being said, let me just quickly show you the Psychic Core on this one because it's completely different. Definitely not as juicy. If I would have the Psychic Core as juicy as on the other account, probably I would get close to 200 million damage. But here we are. Doesn't look as good on the free-to-play account, but that's fine. That was all for this one, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.